What if I told you that something as ordinary as the food on your table is quietly severing your connection to the divine? Not through chaos or drama, but through silent interference, a slow, invisible weakening of your spiritual frequency. Most people eat without a second thought, but you've noticed it. That strange unease after certain meals, the heaviness that doesn't feel physical, the sudden fog that clouds your clarity. That is not random. It's a message your body has been trying to send for a long time. Your body is not just flesh and blood, it is a sacred vessel, a temple chosen for divine manifestation. And lately, it has been crying out from within, trying to awaken you to a truth that few are ready to face. Many of the foods that surround us were altered intentionally to suppress higher consciousness. The very meals that most people consume daily are blocking the spiritual circuits within you, draining your life force, and dimming the light that was meant to guide your mission on earth. Have you ever wondered why, despite all your prayers, meditations, and spiritual discipline, something still feels stuck? Why your intuition sometimes fades when you need it most? Why your spiritual gifts seem muted, as if behind a veil? The answer is much closer than you think. It's on your plate. For centuries, those in power have known this. This truth has been hidden for millennia, buried under layers of deception, guarded not only by worldly institutions, but by ancient unseen forces determined to keep humanity asleep. Because when the chosen ones awaken fully, the illusion collapses. The discomfort you've been feeling, the strange fatigue, the sleepless nights, the loss of energy is not simply a health issue. It's the reflection of a spiritual conflict happening within your physical form. Certain foods were modified to interfere with beings of higher vibration. For the average person, they're harmless. But for someone like you, they are energetic anchors preventing ascension. In the moments ahead, you'll discover what these substances are, how they specifically affect those marked for spiritual awakening, and what miraculous shifts occur when they are finally removed from your life. The changes that follow are often immediate, almost unbelievable. Many who followed this sacred protocol reported radical transformations, heightened intuition, instant manifestations, crystal clear divine guidance, and an unshakable spiritual shield. This knowledge isn't found in modern self-help books or in the speeches of spiritual influencers. It is ancient wisdom, preserved in silence and passed only to those whose souls were ready to receive it. And now it has reached you, because your awakening is not random, it was written. What you do with this truth will determine not just your journey in this lifetime, but your role in the greater divine plan unfolding across the ages. So if your spirit resonates as you read this, acknowledge it, not for me, but for yourself. Speak it. Write the word revelation. That small act marks the beginning of initiation, a signal to the higher realms that you are ready. The fact that these words have found you today is not coincidence. You were guided here because your moment has come. As you take this in, pause. Close your eyes. Feel your heartbeat synchronizing with something greater, a pulse of remembrance awakening inside you. The chosen always recognize truth when it appears. You can feel it, that deep vibration, that shiver that confirms what your spirit already knew. The signs have been all around you, recurring dreams, synchronicities, the unshakable feeling that you were born for something far beyond the ordinary. This is that calling. Long before recorded history, when divine consciousness still walked freely among humankind, the first awakened beings lived in harmony with sacred dietary laws. Their food was pure, their bodies radiant conduits of light. What many later called miracles were simply the natural expressions of beings fully aligned with the divine current flowing through them. But fear of their power led others to corrupt what was once sacred. Over the centuries, through ritual and later through science, the very essence of food was altered, transformed into a weapon that weakens the light within. What began as a spiritual battle evolved into a bioenergetic war against human divinity itself. And yet, deep within your DNA, the memory remains. That strange nostalgia you feel for times and places you've never known, it's your ancient self remembering the age when the chosen walked in full awareness of who they truly were. Today, that memory stirs again. And it begins not in temples or rituals, but in something as simple as what you choose to put into your body. In my personal view, this message isn't just another theory about food or health, it's something much deeper. I truly believe that what we put into our bodies goes far beyond physical nutrition. It directly influences our vibration, our intuition, and even our ability to connect with the divine. Over time, I've noticed that after certain meals, my energy shifts, my mind feels clouded, and my spiritual sensitivity seems to fade. That can't be a coincidence. To me, the body is a sacred vessel, designed to host divine energy. When it's filled with artificial or altered substances, that energy becomes distorted. I think many people underestimate how much of our spiritual stagnation comes from what we consume daily. The modern food system feels deliberately structured to dull our senses, suppress awareness, and keep us disconnected from our higher nature. I'm not saying this to spread fear, but to awaken consciousness. Once you start cleaning your body and feeding it with intention, everything changes. Your dreams become clearer, your intuition strengthens, and you begin to sense the divine guidance that was always there, just buried beneath layers of toxicity. For me, this isn't about diet trends or rules. It's about spiritual sovereignty. Choosing what to eat is choosing what kind of energy I allow into my sacred space. I truly believe that when we align our physical choices with our spiritual truth, the connection between body, mind, and spirit becomes unbreakable. Over the years, in my journey of observing awakened souls and working with spiritual initiates across continents, I began to notice a remarkable pattern, one that defies ordinary explanation. Those who chose to remove certain foods from their lives didn't just experience better health, they went through profound spiritual activation. Their perception expanded, their intuition sharpened, and manifestations that once took months began to unfold almost instantly. I've seen people transform before my very eyes. Some awakened dormant gifts they never imagined they had: clairvoyance, healing abilities, heightened intuition, all emerging within days of cleansing their bodies. The change wasn't just physical, it was energetic, unmistakable, and deeply divine. Take Miriam, for example. For years, she prayed and meditated faithfully, but her spiritual gifts seemed unreachable. Yet within 2 short weeks of removing only 2 specific foods, her channel opened like never before. Clear visions and messages began to pour through her, and now she guides entire communities with the wisdom she once struggled to access. Or Raphael, a man who had battled constant energetic interference for years. When he embraced the sacred dietary discipline of the awakened, his energy field shifted entirely. The attacks ceased. A luminous shield surrounded him, repelling negativity before it even came close. Stories like these reveal a truth that modern science refuses to acknowledge. Certain foods do not merely affect the physical body, they alter the soul's frequency. They interfere with the higher energy centers, cloud the pineal gateway, and sever the link between the earthly self and the higher self, much like static noise interrupting a divine broadcast. These disruptive foods, the flesh of suffering animals, genetically altered grains, processed dairy, and products infused with synthetic energies act as dense, energetic blocks. They distort the natural rhythm of your chakras and dim the flow of divine light through your being. But when someone committed to spiritual awakening removes these substances completely, something extraordinary happens. The fog begins to lift, The veil between worlds thins, communication with higher realms becomes vivid and unmistakable, manifestation accelerates, the Akashic records open, the dormant strands of the spiritual DNA begin to hum with life once again. Your body, in truth, is a sacred instrument designed to resonate with higher frequencies. Every bite you take either aligns you with divine ascension or pulls you deeper into energetic distortion. What you choose to consume determines the clarity of your connection to the source itself. Before you now lies a path that leads directly toward liberation, a return to divine coherence. Each meal becomes a sacred decision. Will you choose expansion or stagnation, alignment or confusion, power or bondage? The moment you begin to purify yourself, something shifts beyond comprehension. Your awareness expands. You start to feel the subtle vibrations around you, the moods of people, the energy of places, the silent whispers of spirit. Your dreams turn lucid. Your intuition becomes unmistakable. The universe begins to echo back to you with precision and grace. And then the greatest transformation unfolds within. Fear dissolves, doubt disappears. The old veil of uncertainty is replaced by profound inner knowing, the realization that you were never disconnected from the divine. You were simply covered by layers of interference. As those layers fall away, your essence reawakens. Your true light begins to radiate. And from that moment on, nothing, absolutely nothing, will ever be the same. Here's a powerful concluding paragraph written as if it were your personal spiritual perception, matching the tone and message of the text above. From my own spiritual perception, I see this truth not as theory, but as living experience. The more I purify what enters my body, the clearer my connection to the divine becomes. It's as if every cell remembers its sacred origin, and every breath carries me closer to the source. I no longer view food as mere sustenance, but as frequency and energy that either strengthens or clouds my spiritual essence. When I align my physical choices with higher consciousness, I feel harmony returning to every part of my being. The fog lifts, the intuition sharpens, and the divine voice within grows unmistakably strong. To me, this is the essence of true awakening, realizing that enlightenment is not found in distant temples, but cultivated daily through what we allow to nourish both body and soul.